Welcome to Finca Nueva's farm. We're so happy you're here with us today to take a farm tour. My name is Tom Newmark. I am one of the founders of Finca Nueva Lodge, and we've been here for more than 30 years experimenting, trying to figure out how to farm in a really challenging, difficult place, because we're on the edge of the primary rainforest, which is connected to the children's eternal rainforest, one of the great biodiversity hotspots of the world. So all the food that we're growing here, the animals of the ecosystem also want to eat. So we're trying to figure out a way in this place of tremendous biological diversity to grow food for you. And we've done so well, and I'm so excited to share with you where we are more than 30 years into our experiment. But it will enrich your experience if you know a little bit about the history of the farm. More than 30 years ago, a company by the name of New Moon Extracts, an herbal company in the United States, was looking for organic ginger. And it was looking all over the world, and it contacted a local farmer here named Stephen Farrell, who was growing organic ginger in La Tigre, just 10 kilometers from where we are right now. And Stephen grew ginger for New Moon Extracts, and it was fantastic ginger. It was just some of the best ginger in the world, and the market grew, and the appetite grew, and the company said, can you find land where we can grow more ginger? And Stephen said, sure. So Stephen, working with actually one of the farmers is on our farm crew right now, Walter Arias, he found this land. And because the company that we were growing ginger for was New Moon, the farm was called New Moon Farm, in Spanish, Finca Nueva. So that's the name. This is the crop. This is ginger. So, but what about these moons, the phases of the moon? Well, not only were we growing it organically, but we were growing it biodynamically, which is a type of agriculture created in the 1920s by Rudolf Steiner, where everything was done in accordance with the phases of the moon. So now when you see our logo, if you see in our gift shop, on the t-shirts, you'll understand that this is a snapshot of the history of our farm. And we thought we were doing everything right. We were so proud of what we were doing, and we were tilling the soil with oxen, and we were putting compost everywhere, and we were teaching farmers all around the world how to do what we were doing. And then about 15 years ago, my daughter Sarah and I went to the United States, and we were with a scientist by the name of Dr. Tim LaSalle at the Rodale Institute in the Lehigh Valley of Pennsylvania. And he told us about a fascinating concept of farming called regenerative agriculture, where farmers were regenerating the richness, the ecological health of soil using farming done in a way that mimicked nature. And this was a way, Dr. LaSalle explained, that we could help reverse climate change, because plants, by their nature, draw down CO2 from the atmosphere. It's called photosynthesis. Remember this from high school botany and biology. Leaves of the plants are solar panels. They collect the energy of the sun. They collect photons. They use that energy to break apart CO2, carbon dioxide, and H2O water, re-scramble them, and make this super nutritious and delicious substance called carbohydrates, sugars, that we all like to eat. It's packaged solar energy. Everything needs solar energy, and plants have figured out how to package it in a way that is delicious. Plants then use that solar energy as a currency, as a coin that they exchange with their environment. Plants can speak the language of carbon dioxide, but they can't speak nitrogen and potassium and selenium and other nutrients. But microorganisms can, bacteria can, and the fungi can deliver those nutrients. But why? Why would those microorganisms swap those minerals with the plant? Well, those microorganisms also need solar energy. So at the root tips, Billions and billions of microorganisms are exchanging nutrients with plants, and it's an underground commodity exchange. And we were so excited to learn about this, and we came back to Finca Nueva thinking, by golly, we're doing this right. We're regenerating the ecosystem. Let's prove it. Let's take soil cores. Let's show how we are enriching. We are putting more carbon in the ground. And we took soil cores, and to our shock, to our horror, we found out that the areas of the farm on the perimeter of the farm that we were ignoring were actually more carbon rich than the areas of the farm that we were spending all of our time and all of our money and all of our energy farming. Rather than regenerating the ecosystem, we were degenerating the ecosystem. And it was critical for us to understand what was our mistake. And so we searched on the farm for lessons in the ecosystem that would tell us what were we doing wrong? How had we broken the cycle of life? That cycle of sunlight creating plants, creating liquid sugars, feeding the microorganisms, creating waste, creating soil, creating life. Somehow we had disrupted that cycle. So we looked around in our ecosystem to see where the ecosystem could teach us what we needed to do differently. Let's go there now. So I told you we were doing a history of Finca Nueva. This is actually kind of where it started. Before we owned the land, the prior owners had this cacao plantation, this cacao field. And do you see how they've planted? They've planted in rows. The soil the ground is bare. It's just a monoculture of cacao trees with the leaves all at one level. Remember the leaves being solar panels? The leaves are just one kind, cacao leaves, and just one level, and the earth is bare. And we've kept this as a bit of a museum of how the farm began more than 40 years ago. So when Stephen Farrow bought this land, this was here. And we came here, again, searching for what we had done wrong. What had we done to degrade the ecosystem? We had a sense for what modern agriculture in the United States and around the world had done wrong. The use of synthetic fertility replaced the whole cycle of life where plants were creating nutrients, feeding the microorganisms. The microorganisms were swapping their nutrients with the plants, and that underground commodity exchange was leading to the creation of soil. But modern agriculture replaced all of that with synthetic fertilization. So we came here, again, looking for understanding of what we were doing wrong, and we saw this, and we maintain this as a museum. But now follow me, as you'll be here on the farm tour. Follow me now. This was also the cacao plantation. So what you saw on the other side of the trail that you'll be walking on was the museum portion of the cacao plantation. But this is the cacao plantation left to nature. This is what nature wants to be. We're here, remember I said, we're here on the edge of the primary rainforest. If the ecosystem could speak to us, which it does, but if we could hear this ecosystem would be expressing its desire to be a rainforest with leaves of every shape and size, with leaves of every height, collecting sunlight in every which way, creating sugars, harvesting energy, creating fruits, creating calories of energy. This is the personality. This is the nature that wants to manifest here. So we had the thought, what if we could farm our food for our guests in a way consistent with the desire of this ecosystem to be a rainforest. And this was the second epiphany. The first, we were doing things wrong. The second, nature was showing us the way we needed to operate. What if we here in the rainforest could grow food like a rainforest produces food? What if in the temperate zone around the world, farmers could grow food like a prairie produces food? This is the great challenge. We have to grow food for humanity, but we can no longer grow food in a way that degrades the ecosystem, and we must figure out a way to draw carbon dioxide down and put it back to work in healthy soil. It's a toxin in the atmosphere. It's a tonic here underground. Can we do it? Can we grow food like a forest? Can we grow food like a prairie? Can we farm in accordance with the nature that so wants to be rich and abundant? Can we farm as though the future of the human experience depends on it? That's what you're about to see as you take the farm tour here at Finca Nueva. Enjoy.